Hello Ryan, I'm Richard.
Richard, nice to meet you.
It's nice to meet you too. So Ryan, what brings you here today?
I've been in recovery for about a month. I was actually in the hospital a while ago. I'm going to AA right now, and my sponsor, Betty, said that you guys were the people to see for treatment. Just experiencing cravings. That's a part of my life that's behind me.
Okay, what were you in the hospital for?
I overdosed on heroin. I got it from a friend. He told me not to shoot it. He said smoke it. It was good white, China white from San Fran, and just been getting the Mexican brown, and
So
I was just at the house, and I was looking for something. The needle fell out.
It was a lot better than you expected then.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't been feeling great, so I'm just like, well, why not? What's the worst thing that can happen? Woke up in the hospital. So.
Okay, well, we'll address that. First of all, I just want to let you know that everything we say here is confidential. Unless you were to, want to hurt yourself or want to hurt somebody else, those are the only kind of things I'd have to let my bosses know about. But everything in here is confidential. Okay, have you ever done an alcohol or drug assessment before?
No.
Okay. Well, I wish we could have met on different circumstances, but I'm glad you're here. It's a big step to walk through this door and ask for help. So that's the point of what we're going to do today. Now, an assessment is a lot of questions. Okay, it's probably going to take us about a half hour, 45 minutes at the most. I'll be asking you a lot of questions, and just answer the best you can. Okay. We'll take it at your pace and how you want it to be, and just answer the best you can. All right.
All right.
Okay, Ryan. First of all, your first name.
Yeah.
What's your last name?
Segal, S-E-G-A-L.
Date of birth?
Is 11/14/76.
How old are you?
I am 38.
Okay. I'm going to start by asking you a few questions just to make sure you're in the right frame of mind to do this assessment. Okay?
Yeah.
I know it's kind of be questions that are obvious, but I just want to see where you're at today. Okay, so what's the date today?
Today is 1/27/15.
What year is it?
15.
Okay.
2015.
Do you know where are you at? Do you know where you're at?
Yeah, I'm at Awesome Health Clinic.
Okay.
Awesome Recovery Services, or whatever you guys call it.
Okay.
Awesome Recovery Program.
And Ryan, let me ask you this, okay? What was it that caused you to make this decision to be here today? Is something significant happen?
Well, yeah, I mean, I overdosed and woke up in the hospital,
Okay.
and just haven't used since then. I mean, I got evicted, things weren't looking real peachy the way they were going before that, and then almost dying, and really not a lot to live for, kind of remembering how my mom passed away, and I don't know, it's almost like there was something that was waiting, something better than slowly dying.
Okay.
Just using, not feeling well unless I used.
Okay.
Losing jobs, hustling.
Okay, we'll cover some of those things. And I'm sorry I didn't quite, take into account, you just kind of told me that. I wanted to get a little more in depth about it. see what it was like to you and
Yeah.
for you. Okay.
I mean, it was just really, you know, when I look around at what was going on, I was just around a bunch of scumbags.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It just wasn't getting better. So.
Okay. The next thing we're going to do is I'm going to ask you about a lot of substances and a few questions about them. You're just going to answer yes or no if you've done them. And I'm going to ask you about your first use, your use amount, things like that. Okay. Just answer to the best of your ability. All right.
Well, I can tell you what I've done.
Okay.
I smoke. I can see your list. I smoke cigarettes.
Okay.
Something I'd like to quit, not right now.
Okay.
A pack a day.
And when was your first use?
I started when I was about 17.
And your last use, when did you last use?
I had a smoky treat before I came in here.
Okay.
So, whatever, 10 minutes ago, 5 minutes ago.
Okay. And you said you smoke about a pack a day?
Yep.
Okay. So what about, how about alcohol?
Yeah, heroin.
Heroin?
Yeah.
When was your first use with heroin?
It was about 6 years ago.
Okay, and you're 38 now, so about when you were about 32.
Yeah.
Okay, when did you last use heroin?
About a month ago, when I went in the hospital.
Okay, and what was the amount you used then?
About a bag.
Bag, so what was a bag? Is that, bags vary?
Just a small bag, dime bag.
Quantity, okay.
Yeah.
Like about a quarter gram then, less than a quarter gram, $10 worth?
Something
what
like
you mean?
that. Yeah,
Okay.
it wasn't a lot. I didn't even pay for it.
Okay,
You know,
okay.
but yeah.
And how often do you use heroin? Up until a month ago you said, was you using it daily?
Whenever it came through the door, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was that, what does that look like? Was that daily? Was that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, when you're on medicine, you need medicine.
Okay.
So I was hurt if I went 2 or 3 days. I was hurt. So.
Did you ever go 2 or 3 days without it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about alcohol? Did you use alcohol?
No.
Cocaine?
No.
Okay. Benzodiazepines like Xanax, Valium, pills, downers?
Now, this kind of all started, my mom got sick. She was in the hospital. I was seeing her through that. She passed away. Real good relationship before she passed away. She passed away, and when I went back to her house, to take care of affairs and things like that, there was a bunch of pain pills and stuff. And I, super depressed, and started taking the pain pills. So just like hydrocodone, Vicodin type stuff. She might have had a couple OxyContin.
Okay.
So things like that.
Okay.
So I guess more like opiates is in
Opiates,
that list, yeah. So not so much like that stuff sounds like antidepressant. I don't even know what that is, but yeah, yeah, more like that stuff. So don't smoke pot, no sleeping pills, nothing like that.
Okay, no hallucinogens,
No.
glue, cough syrup, amphetamines. What about
No.
meth? Did you ever do meth or
No
ecstasy?
meth, no coke,
Spice,
no X, no
bath
Molly,
pills? Okay, bath
no
salts.
spice, no.
How about the opiates? You mentioned the pain pills.
Yeah.
Oxycodones. Was that just that one-time occurrence?
I kind of started them just to sleep.
So you did start them. Did you consider yourself having a habit with them, or you said
I used them till they're gone. I hadn't used
and it was
anything
just that
before
one time when Mom was sick.
Well, after she passed, no, I used her pills and they're gone, and I bought pills off the street, and then somebody, they're just like, why are you getting after this stuff, and introduced me to smoking heroin, and that was probably I did the pills for about a year, every day if I could get them.
Yeah. You said smoking heroin. Did you shoot up?
Smoke and shoot up. Yeah.
Okay.
Smoke more than shoot up.
Okay.
But when things get expensive and you need your medicine, you do what you need to do.
About the pills. Let me go back to that real quick. How many pills a day were you taking? Do you remember?
Mostly just a bit to sleep. So maybe 2 or 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you said, when did mom die?
She died 5 years ago.
I ask you that because that'll tie into when you use those.
Yep.
So you were about 33.
Yep.
Okay. Okay. So I'm going to continue to just ask you a few more questions.
Yep.
This is about withdrawal potential. Okay.
Okay.
Kind of mentioned that you get real sick when you don't have your medicine. You call heroin medicine, right?
Yeah, I've been through the hospital though. I was I went through withdrawals in the hospital.
Did you have cold or clammy hands?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I was shaking, puking, just. I mean, I'd been using for about 4 years straight, much as I could get my hands on, cold turkey, at the hospital after the OD.
Cold too, you were brutally sick.
Well, yeah, they're not gonna give me any more heroin up in the hospital.
Right.
They gave me whatever that was on an IV.
So you had tremors,
yeah,
mood swings,
well,
disturbed sleeping patterns.
yeah, just real sick,
Yeah.
just horribly sick.
Okay, did you seem confused? That obviously
Yeah,
you were
I
already
mean,
sick. Okay.
Yeah,
Visibly sweating. Okay.
yeah, sweat, clammy, cold, fever,
Yeah.
stomach, skin crawling,
Yeah.
seeing crap on the ceiling, and
All that stuff.
just
Okay.
nightmare. It's for about a week in the hospital. They, like I said, they did something with IVs, but I don't think you're gonna get past the. I don't know what it was for me. I don't know how it is for other people.
Toxins in the illegal drugs that you were using. Yeah, the IVs usually won't get past it. Some of those things are going to come up later in the assessment too.
Sure.
Glad you told me. We'll try to get through that to where we won't have to explore that again. You know, unless you feel like you want to say anything about it or you remember something that you want to add, then feel free to please let me know, okay?
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'm just going to keep asking you some questions to get through this assessment, okay? Describe your health. Let me ask you this first. What does good health look like to you?
I don't know, eating right, exercising,
Okay.
things like that.
Okay, describe your health right now.
Decent health. Just kind of starting to eat wasn't particularly a priority before.
So you're saying you're starting to eat right?
I'm starting to eat.
Starting to eat, period.
Yeah.
Okay.
Probably eat out a little bit too much. Came out of the hospital, and I mean, I'm kind of assuming they ran whatever they run, so they didn't say there's anything wrong with me. So,
Well, besides the substance use.
acute heroin withdrawal, yeah,
That's
yeah. So
How about
clean bill of health, as far as I know. No,
okay.
you know, shooting up and stuff. They did the HIV test, hepatitis test, all that stuff, clean.
Okay.
You know, thank
That'll come up.
goodness.
That'll come up later in the assessment too. We'll just have to remember that you already mentioned that. So unless you want to share further about it.
Sure.
Okay. But your height and weight, Ryan?
Height and weight, 6'2", 250.
Okay, do you have a physician?
I've been packing on the weight since I quit. Do I have a physician? I haven't seen anybody since the hospital.
Okay. Is there any kind of likelihood are you allergic to any medications that you know of?
No.
Do you have any other allergies?
No.
Do you have any ongoing medical or physical problems? Well, besides
No.
the effects of heroin? Okay. Do you have any disability that might interfere with your participation in a program?
No.
How would you rate your ability to remember things? Poor, average, or good?
Poor.
Okay. Do you, is that for something specific or is it from your
I would assume it. I don't know if it's from the drug use. I assume it's from.
Did you have symptoms of it, or have a poor memory before your drug use started 5 years ago?
I honestly don't remember.
Okay, you're just speaking of recently. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, just I guess you call it forgetful. I can't climb in somebody else's head and see how they remember, but
Okay.
you know, I'd consider myself forgetful.
Okay. I'm going to ask you now about your education. What was the highest grade you ever completed?
High school, 12th grade.
Okay, where'd you complete that? Where was that?
I completed it in Colorado.
When did you graduate?
I graduated in 1998.
Okay, did you ever have any vocational training?
A little welding.
When was that?
Oh, around 2003 or something like that.
Okay.
No, that's not. I graduated high school in '94. I don't know what I said, '98.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
good deal.
Otherwise, that put me in high school for like 8 years.
Okay.
My memory's not that. I guess I couldn't remember what year I graduated, but I did graduate.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, any other special training
No,
think of you want to let me know about? Okay. How's your reading and writing skills?
it's fine. I read that.
Okay. How would you say you handle anger?
Fine.
Have you ever attempted suicide? Well, on purpose? Because we could kind of correlate your accidental overdose.
Before I went
You
to
weren't
hospital,
trying to kill yourself.
it wasn't accidental, but it really didn't matter at that point.
What do you mean by that? What?
I mean, the person who gave me that said, "Do not shoot this." You know what I mean? I didn't care at that point.
So would you consider that an attempted suicide?
I would consider it that I didn't care how it turned out. I woke up in the hospital, that was fine. If I didn't wake up, that's fine. So.
Okay, what about now, Ryan? Do you have any thoughts of ongoing thoughts of suicide now?
No, there's something bigger out there for me, and that's the realization after that
Okay.
hospital stay.
I'm going to note that you consider that your dealer told you not to shoot it and you did anyway, you just didn't care.
It wasn't a dealer, it was a friend, but yeah.
Oh, okay, pardon me.
You know, at some point it doesn't really do it for you anymore, and I just thought maybe this time would do it. You know what I mean? Thought maybe I'd finally get high for the first time in a while.
Because you built up a tolerance. You didn't mean suicide.
Yeah, well,
Okay.
I mean, like I said, at that point I don't think it really mattered.
Okay.
You know, just take the whole thing one shot. If it does it, you know, if I get off on it, cool. If I freaking don't wake up, cool. So.
Okay.
You know, I was looking at getting evicted. Don't really have a hell of a lot going on, so.
Okay. Are you willing to get some counseling for issues of that nature?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I think my mom had a history of depression. I got a history of it. I don't think depression and heroin use probably particularly the best way to handle it. So,
Okay.
but I'm not gonna kill myself now or anything. I know
Okay.
you said something about that harm to self, but no thoughts, no plans, no nothing like that.
Okay, I like your insight about your circumstances. First of all, I'm going to recommend that you see a doctor. Would you be willing to do that?
Yeah, I mean, if
for your physical
it's part of your program to get a
Yeah.
physical, I'll go get a physical.
Yeah, your physical well-being and also some counseling to work out these issues that you brought up. Would you be willing to do that? If it's part of the program, it would be beneficial to you. You feel like it'd be beneficial to you?
Yeah, I mean, I'm concerned about who's going to pay for it and stuff, but I guess we can work that out. You know, like I said, my friend referred me over here, and she's my sponsor in AA, so
Okay.
I talk it out with her. But yeah, be open to it.
Okay. And that'll all be issues that will be worked out you know, there's funding available. We'll get more information from you about your circumstances and what you qualify for.
Sure.
Medicaid, Medicare, there's the BPA, there's funding out there, there's help. And we'll help you walk through that, those scenarios to get you the best help that we can get you, all right?
All right.
See what you qualify for, but I'm going to continue with some more questions from this assessment.
Yep.
Okay? What about a history of suicide in your family? Is there a history of suicide in your family?
I don't know my dad. Not from my mom. I got a brother. I don't even know where he's at. So no.
Okay. Have you ever been given a mental health diagnosis, Ryan? Well, but was you ever diagnosed for depression, or you mentioned that mom?
They might have wrote that down in the hospital, but I don't know. I've never been to see anybody about it, so.
Okay.
No.
But you say they might. Okay.
I'm sure you guys get the records from the hospital. Somebody there wrote something down, then yeah, but otherwise no.
Okay. Did you tell anybody in the hospital that you had been diagnosed with depression, or did anybody in the hospital diagnose you with depression? You just mentioned that you and your mother suffered from it. And
no, I mean, I think I had something like this where we talked about it. I don't know what they wrote down, so.
Okay.
I guess you have to talk to them about that. So.
Okay. Okay.
But yeah, I did mention that to them, but this was just a month ago, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you remember ever seeing a psychologist or a psychiatrist or a counselor in the hospital?
No.
Just from what you told them. Okay.
No.
Okay, are you currently taking any medications?
No.
Okay. Is there a family history of any mental health disorders besides you mentioned depression?
Yeah,
with your mom?
just mom and depression.
Okay.
Yeah. And I don't see where she got any treatment for that or anything.
Okay. Okay, I'm going to go over some emotions with you.
Mm-hmm.
And I want you to describe, the most common emotions that you feel.
Yeah.
Okay. How about depression? Depressed, yeah. Mm-hmm. Agitated?
No.
Anxious?
Yes.
Confused?
No.
Fearful?
No.
Angry?
No.
Ashamed?
No.
Hostile?
No.
Bored?
No.
Hopeless?
No.
Okay.
No.
kinda-
I'm hopeful. I'm
Okay.
hopeful. Yeah.
You're hopeful in
I'm hopeful.
today, okay.
Yeah.
So along with your depression, you don't have any days or times that you might feel hopeless. 'Cause you're
No,
saying-
it's passing. It's passing. It comes in passing. It's better.
Okay.
It's better. The anxiety, depression, it just comes in passing. Able to turn it around.
Okay. You're able to turn it around?
Able to turn it around.
Okay. What does that look like to you? How are you able to do that?
Just kind of be like Taylor Swift and shake it off. I don't know. Just starting to kind of eat right, exercise a little bit, talk to my sponsor, go to meetings. AA is about all we got around here, so I'm not going to NA. And my friend, she goes to AA, so I know somebody there and they're supportive.
Okay. So you feel like you got a pretty good support system going on right now for your recovery?
Yeah.
Okay, that's great. I think that's a huge part of recovery, and I'm happy that you've got that in place, that you're already on that path to getting some help in that area, having people around you that support you, okay? I'm going to continue with the questions, all right, Ryan?
Sure.
Okay. How would you describe your self-esteem on a scale from 1 to 10, 1 being low, 10 being high?
Oh, probably a 5.
Okay, why? Why did you say 5?
Well, I'm working at a drugstore, and just kind of, you know, living with a friend and.
Tell me, what you have concerns about working at a drugstore
I don't know.
because of your addictions, or do you,
No, I never really thought about that. I'm not. If I was a pharmacist, that might be a real big problem. But I'm just at work in the register. So.
how does that affect your self-esteem?
Oh, just I'm making $8 an hour,
Okay.
and
Okay, and what
at least I got a place to stay now. But I got to rely on somebody else to
I
pay
see.
for everything. It's just kind of one day at a time. Still hopeful, but I mean, I don't know.
Okay, I like your attitude.
It's just
You
like.
know, you're living with a friend, working at a low-end job, that it can affect your self-esteem, but you're thankful and happy to have a place to stay and have a job.
Yeah,
Okay.
I would say that's accurate.
Okay. These questions are going to be about drug and alcohol use. Okay, we kind of touch base at the beginning about some of the things you use, but these are a little more in depth. I just want to get for this assessment. Okay, we'll try to get through these pretty quick. Has anyone ever expressed concern about your alcohol or drug use? Well, besides your mom.
No, not really.
Okay.
No, my mom, I wasn't using them. I didn't use till my mom passed.
Right.
So, I don't know. The landlord bitches about it, but
Yeah.
he can go to hell. Whatever.
Were you pretty close to the landlord? How did he know about it?
I don't know. He knew. I'm not the only. I wasn't the only junkie in that apartment complex.
Okay.
No secret there.
Has your drug use ever affected you at work in any way? Like missed work, late, bad performance, or warnings?
No. I mean, I spent most of the last 5 years just kind of hustling, peddling a little bit here and there to cover rent and what I can use. So.
Okay, well, I'll ask you more about employment in just a minute, okay?
Maybe I could have, sold more drugs and been a better drug dealer if I wasn't using
For work.
my own stuff.
That's not the first time I've heard that, believe me. Okay, have you ever used drugs while at work? Well, you really haven't held a
I had that job for about a week and a half, so.
Okay. Did you use while you were at that job?
No.
Okay.
I've been clean since I got out of the hospital.
Okay, were you fired from that job? You just didn't go back? Is that right?
No, I mean, this drugstore job is the first job I've had in 6 years, so.
Okay. Did a significant other use alcohol or drugs have you ever, pardon me, did you or a significant other use alcohol or drugs in your relationships?
No.
Okay. Does anyone in your family have a history of drug or alcohol use or abuse?
No, I mean, my mom had the stuff, but that was for chronic pain. She used it for what the doc said to use it for, so.
Okay.
She's just trying to keep her comfortable.
She didn't abuse it then? Okay. Have you ever experienced any of the following? I'm going to ask you a few questions about your drug use, okay?
Okay.
Blackouts?
Fall asleep every time I shoot up.
Shaked, yeah, you kind of said some of these, there are no tremors, yeah, you were
From withdrawals,
excessive
yeah.
vomiting. So you had with massive withdrawals.
I don't know about excessive vomiting, but definitely bad stomach.
How about seeing things,
Yep.
hearing things, yeah, you mentioned all that, okay.
Yep.
Inability to sleep, yeah. How about paranoia?
I think, yeah, they could have done more stuff in the hospital for that. But yeah, I experienced all that in the hospital. I mean, I don't know if I should have been on methadone or something, but yeah.
Obsessive
Anyways.
thoughts, abscess skin. What about abscess skin?
Yeah, I had sores on my face before I went to the hospital.
How about jaundice?
Like turning yellow?
Yeah, because your liver. You ever remember anything like that?
Yeah, I think I
Doctors
turned, I
mentioned.
had people saying I turned yellow.
How about hepatitis?
Got screened for that, no.
No.
No
HIV risk. Okay, loss of time, yeah, poor
yeah.
concentration. Okay, have you ever been hospitalized? Well, we already answered that.
Yeah.
How much did you think you spent a week on your drugs?
I didn't spend anything.
Just from hustling?
Yeah.
What do you think that would look like then if you accumulated that?
Put a value on it?
Hustling, yeah, per week.
bucks a week, easy. 250.
Do you have any drug debts now, Ryan?
No.
About financial problems?
Yeah. I mean, making about minimum wage. I don't know if I'd have enough money for my own place and utilities and all that.
Did you ever use drugs when you were in school?
No.
Let's see, you mentioned you never been to a hospital before, you never had treatment before.
No.
You go to AA meetings though, you
Yeah.
have a sponsor, but you've never been to a treatment before. You never
No,
said
this
you've
is
never done an assessment before.
Just like I said, my friend from AA recommended you guys at the Awesome Recovery Program, so
Great. Okay.
yeah,
But you've never done an assessment.
no
Yeah,
treatment.
no treatment. Okay. You've been involved. Yes, you go to AA meetings and you have a sponsor. What did you say your sponsor's name was, if you don't mind me asking?
Betty.
Okay. Like I said, this is all confidential.
Yeah, it's Betty Ford. Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
she's been through here, so.
Okay. Ryan, I want to ask you something very important, okay?
Sure.
From your perspective about yourself, what is your own assessment of your drug use history?
It's not
You've-
good.
You've already mentioned how horribly sick you've been.
I would describe it as a heroin addict.
What does that look like to you?
Using every bit of heroin I can get my hands on. Using it till it's gone and then looking for more. Fortunate enough to have it around most of the time.
Okay, I'm going to ask you some rapid questions, okay?
Sure.
Quite a few. It's about loss and trauma, okay?
Sure.
How about the death of a close family member? Yeah, your mom,
yeah.
5 years ago, right?
Yep.
How about death of a close friend?
No.
Divorce or loss of major relationships?
No.
Bullying or emotional anguish of any kind?
No.
Have you ever been involved in an abortion?
No.
Problems with peers or friends?
Don't really have any friends. No.
Issues with gender or sexual preference growing up?
No.
Hopeless feelings? You mentioned
Yeah.
depression,
Yeah.
but you said you didn't have any hopeless feelings.
But
Kind of tried to get you to iterate on that. Do you still feel the same way?
I mean, I've had hopeless feelings. Yeah.
Because hopeless feelings kind of go along with depression.
Yeah.
But I don't want to put words in your mouth either.
No, I've had hopeless
Distant
feelings
fears,
of hopelessness. Yeah.
Okay. Sadness?
Yeah.
Frequent crying spells?
No.
Inability to concentrate?
Yeah.
So, major changes in appearance?
Yeah. Gained some weight and don't have any sores on my face anymore.
Okay. How about history of emotional abuse? History of physical abuse?
No.
History of sexual abuse?
No.
Okay. What do you consider physical abuse or emotional abuse? What does that look like to you?
Physical or emotional abuse? I don't know. Somebody telling you you're a piece of crap or something like that, I guess.
None of that's ever happened? to you?
No.
Okay. How about history of sexual assault, rape, or sexual harassment?
No.
Stealing?
No.
History of self-harm, cutting, picking, burning?
Maybe some picking, but not to harm herself, just because there's something there, it seems like. Maybe more from the drugs.
Okay, you never had to steal to support your habit?
No.
Okay. All right, we're almost done. Okay, you're good?
I'm good.
Okay. Some of the issues we talked about, you've said you're willing to work around some of these issues, depression, seeing a doctor for your physical health. Okay, so I'm going to put yes for that. Let's see. Let me skip down to gambling history. You ever gamble? Do you have a problem with gambling?
No.
Okay. How about eating history? Have you ever had an eating issue or eating disorder?
No.
Do you have concerns about your weight?
Yeah. Somewhat.
So you fear you're becoming overweight?
Yeah.
You find yourself preoccupied with any particular parts of your body?
No.
Do you feel like if you were thinner that you'd be happier?
No. Maybe.
Do you exercise regularly?
Yeah.
Okay. How many times a week? Or a day? What's your...
2 to 3 times a week.
2 or 3 times a week?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have a history of any sexual acting out?
No.
Okay. Do you never more than one relationship at a time, or paying for sex, or sex for drugs?
No.
Or other money? Okay.
Nothing like that.
Okay. Do you experience shame related to sexual activities?
No.
Has your sexual behavior ever created problems for you or your family?
No.
Do you feel your sexual behavior is a problem? No, you said no to that. Okay, I'm going to ask you some questions about motivation now. What is your understanding of the words drug addict?
What is my understanding of the words drug addict?
Yeah, remember, just answer to the best of your ability.
Yeah.
There is no right or wrong answer.
An addict is somebody who can't stop using.
Anything else? Okay. Do you believe you need help to deal with your drug use? You're here?
Yeah.
Yes. Some of these questions we've already answered. Has your drug use caused you any other major problems? Really, yeah. Please tell me what those problems are. Homelessness, lack of job.
No, I've never been homeless.
Okay. Well, you said you were...
Well,
when you were
it
using...
depends on what he's... No.
Okay.
No, I've always had my place. I got kicked out, but then I'm living with a friend. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let me just ask you this, Ryan. Let me put it this way. Has your drug use caused any other major problems in your life? I didn't mean to put words in your mouth.
Yeah,
just from what you said before.
For 5 years,
Tell
it
me
more or
what
less
caused it.
destroyed my life. My life
Okay.
centered around the acquisition of my medicine. I wouldn't say that's the most productive member of society when you wake up every day and either get high or try to figure out how to get high.
Okay. How often have you ever quit using drugs? Up until 5 years ago, you never. But during the time you used, did you have any period where you quit?
Only if I couldn't find any.
Right. You said 2 or 3 days.
2 or 3 days, I'd be a hurting unit.
Okay. And why did you start again? Just because you were addicted?
No, I start again because I found some. I get hooked up, I'd start again.
So the reason why you quit is because you were just out, didn't have any, so you didn't
Yeah.
use. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you feel that you've been pressured by someone or something else to have this assessment?
Betty was pretty, I wouldn't call it pressure. Would I have
See,
walked?
She encouraged you?
Would I have walked in here on my own? No.
Would that be a fair assessment to say?
Encouraged, yeah. Kind of like if you go to the Awesome Recovery Program, you will be helped. It will be good.
So she gave you encouragement and incentives.
Okay. Just I think I'm not sure if she went through treatment here. She went through treatment somewhere. Her name just sounds really familiar when I think of treatment too, for some reason. But yeah.
Yeah.
Not necessarily pressured, but yeah. I'm not like against it.
Okay.
I'm here voluntarily, if that's kind of the question, yeah.
Okay, well you did arrive on time.
Yeah.
And you did complete all the paperwork. Is it cool for you? I mean,
Yeah.
Got through it just fine?
Sure.
So there's no complaints about the process?
No.
Okay, you're doing great. Been through these assessments, people couldn't even get through them, so I really appreciate your abilities here today.
Alright.
So we're almost done. This is Recovery Potential. What do you know or what have you heard about 12-step programs? I mean, besides what you told me, that they're helpful, you're encouraged by them.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, out of your mouth, from your words, what would you like me to write?
For what?
What you know about 12-step programs.
Just, I don't know, I've been to the meetings, and I know I'm kind of trying to find a group that we fit in with. I go with Betty, she'll come pick me up. I'm not driving right now, I don't have a car. My car's broke down in front of my old building.
Okay, so we'll be...
Just, there's a higher power element to it for me, for sure.
Okay.
And just the admitting powerlessness over this problem. So
it'd be fair to say they give you a higher power. That's a strength for you.
Well, it's part of the 12-step, and it did strike a chord with me, as well as just the kind of admission that powerless over the drug.
Okay. I'm going to write it in your exact words, admitting I was powerless, struck a chord with you.
Yeah.
Okay. We're almost done. You doing okay, Ryan?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so yeah, you're definitely open to 12. What about religion, Ryan? Were you brought up in an organized religion?
Yeah, somewhat. At church when I was a young kid.
Okay, which one?
Just Protestant church, non-denominational, Christian.
Can you tell me a little bit about that?
I don't know. Went to church, fell asleep, got bored. Had paper airplanes.
Okay. You just mentioned though about the 12-step program. One of the things you like is the essence of the higher power.
Yeah. Maybe that set a groundwork for it when I was a kid.
Okay.
I mean, just kind of coming back to your roots again. And then my mom was the one that supported that, and she's gone now, and maybe that's something to do with it.
Okay.
Maybe whatever I was looking for after she passed, maybe it wasn't in the, in the pills or in the smack, and maybe I'm kind of turning around to what I was looking for originally after that loss. So.
Okay. Okay. When was the last time you attended services at your church? You said, have you been in the last?
I went with Betty.
Okay, when was that?
Like 2 weeks ago. I'd go back, but I had to work this Sunday.
Okay. So let me ask you this. You've already described your spiritual life a little bit. I just wanted you to tell me a little more about what your spiritual life looks like.
I pray
How
a little
would you
bit.
describe your spiritual life?
Yeah, pray a little bit. Think about it a little bit. Think about maybe something bigger going on. Something more to live for.
Okay, and you just mentioned about your mom and how you may have found, I'll mention all that in the assessment too, you may have found a little more of what you were looking for that mom couldn't find. Okay. Okay, how about family support? Where were you born, right?
I was born in Colorado.
Were you raised in Colorado too?
Yeah.
Okay, who raised you?
Oh.
Do you identify with the particular culture? Do you get along with your parents? Well, it's okay. Did you get along with your parents?
I didn't know my dad. I got along with my mom, especially towards the end. We got along really well.
Didn't know dad. You ever been married?
No. No married, no kids.
Okay. What brothers and sisters do you have?
I've got a brother, and I have no idea where he is.
Where are you in the birth order? Are you younger or older than him?
I am older, just by like a year though.
So don't really get along with your brother because you don't know where he's at.
Yeah, we got different dads, and he took off with his dad when he was fairly young. So.
Okay, right. Please describe your current living arrangement. You said you're living with a friend.
Just living with a friend.
Okay.
Yeah, you might describe it as couch surfing. I don't know how long that's gonna last.
You haven't made any plans to stay with your friend? Don't have your own room, living on the couch? Are you paying rent there?
No, I would describe it as a bit of couch surfing, and
So it's not very stable. You're not sure when they're going to ask you to leave?
it's not real stable. He got sentenced, and he's gonna be heading to prison in probably 6 weeks, 2 months ish. He owns the home outright. Might be able to stay there until it gets sold. It's for sale. I don't know.
Is that kind of up in the air, though?
Yeah, that's kind of up in there. That's up in the air.
You're not...
I wouldn't stay there while he's gone. I'm trying to save. Don't make a lot. Don't spend a lot. Save. Get an apartment. Try to get the car fixed.
So do you have a plan as of now? When he gets sentenced, when he goes away,
No.
you're trying to save your money right now, paycheck?
Not much of a plan. No.
Okay. We do have some possibilities here. I don't want to make any promises, but we have housing programs, and I can give you that information before we leave today. Okay?
Sure.
Cool. Okay. Right now, are you married or in a long-term relationship? No.
No.
Let's see. Okay. So the guy that you live with now, does he drink? Does he use drugs or drink?
Yeah, he drinks. He's a pretty heavy drinker. I think he's trying to get help.
Okay.
Pretty heavy drinker.
Okay, who do you spend most of your time with, Ryan?
I spend most of my time working and at AA. So Betty will pick me up, go to AA, go to work.
Do you engage in any social activities in which which drugs are not involved? Yeah,
Which
your
drugs
AA.
are not involved?
Yeah, your
Yeah,
AA meetings.
I'm not involved with drugs at all.
Okay,
So,
well.
yeah.
Okay,
I mean, I'm going to 2 meetings a day right now, so.
okay, that's great. So what activities, hobbies, interests, etc. are you involved in?
Working AA. I guess they're headed bowling for AA, so I might go do that.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. Go out to dinner.
Yeah, I know that AA has a lot of programs, a lot of fishing, camping, dances. They have all kinds of social activities in AA. More you get into it, and more people you meet, they'll fill you in, and you'll catch on. There's a lot of social activities that I encourage you to be involved with. Okay. Have you had any hobbies, interests in the past that you're no longer involved in?
Not really. Just ride a bike a lot when I was a kid.
You haven't rode a bike since you were a kid?
Yeah.
Okay, you cool? I'm trying to hurry. We're almost done. I know I said that 10 minutes ago.
It's fun.
Pardon me. Okay. Where do you spend most of your free time? You already told me AA and work. Okay. You have a car. You said not at your disposal. It's broke down, sitting out front. So, no. Say yes or no to the car because you'd say your disposal, but it's not running.
It ain't running.
So how do you get around?
Betty or my roommate.
And do they drive?
Yeah.
Obviously. Okay, so yeah, you're employed, you're working at the drugstore. What's the employer's name?
Pharma Drug Incorporated.
Okay. You said you've worked there for about a month now?
Yeah. Well, a couple weeks, about 10 days, not quite. Yeah.
Okay, and you're a cashier.
Yeah.
Do you enjoy your work, Ryan?
Yeah, it's not bad.
Okay.
Yeah, it could be a lot worse.
What about your work history in the last 10 years? You kind of told me you didn't have a job for 5 years till a month ago.
Yeah, just
But before the 5 years ago.
worked at Walmart for like a year and a half.
And that was that 10 years ago? So
That
for
would have been before Mom passed. That'd probably be about 5 years ago.
okay.
When she was getting sick, I just kind of left the house.
Okay. Okay. Last thing about legal. Okay.
Yeah.
Have you ever been arrested?
No.
Are you currently on probation?
No.
Do you have any outstanding warrants?
No.
Do you have a valid driver's license?
No.
Okay. Do you need legal counsel?
No.
Or any lawyer for anything? All right. Good job, Ryan. I know that was a lot of questions. It took a long time, but
Yeah.
you did a great job getting through it. I want to recommend that you come see me again. I'd like to do a follow-up session with you.
All right.
I'd like to be a part of your recovery team to get you through this time in your life right now, man.
All right.
And we'll be contacting you soon to let you know the results of this assessment, what level of care we're going to put you in, and what you qualify for. Before you leave, we'll get you some information about our housing and about other programs that we run. Do you have any questions for me?
No.
You good?
Yep.
Okay. It was really cool to meet you. She was under different circumstances, but we're here to support you and help you through these times in your life, man, okay?
All right.
All right. All right, you take care.
You too.